Imagine all the way down under in Australia, and that's Feel Our Feel from the band T Vibes. And I'm very pleased to welcome the leader of T Vibes, which is a group based in Australia. And if you're in St. James, you may remember Errol Reno. He hails from St. James, that very popular area in Trinidad and Tobago. And Errol, it's lovely to have you with us this morning.
Yeah, it's my pleasure being here.
I know that you took off for Australia to become a part of the Cavaliers when Amral Khan was getting that group together to replace someone there. What made you decide to stay, to leave Trinidad and Tobago and go all the way there?
Well, I decided to go back to Australia because after spending 1 year in Australia with the Cavaliers, I left and I did a world tour. And after I returned to Trinidad, I had an option of going back maybe to North America or Australia. And I decided to go back to Australia because it was a challenge for me to exploit the music scenes and everything down there.
What is the reaction of the people of Australia to Caribbean music in particular? Because you have a band and it's based in Sydney and I think it's doing pretty well there.
Yes, we are doing well. Australians do accept music from different parts of the world, and especially music from the Caribbean, because cricket has really made anything coming out from the West Indies very popular in Australia. So the music is following what cricket has been a good ambassador to the people of the West Indies.
So there's almost an immediate acceptance then,
yes,
of the music.
Yes.
Does T Vibes try to mix as much soca music into, I know you try to have an international flavor, but do you use as much soca as you can in the music?
Yes, we do. I would say 60% of the music is soca, or we try to make soca 60% of the music.
Let me mention that you did a lot of limbo dance as well here in Trinidad and Tobago, that you're a panist, and so that in a sense you have a very broad range of experience as an entertainer. Do you get a chance to do limbo there, and do you feel that perhaps limbo should be projected more as part of the culture of Trinidad and Tobago?
Yes, when I came back for Carnival this year, there was talk of a limbo championship being held here in Trinidad, and it never happened. And I must say that everywhere you go in the world today, limbo is still very, very popular. We go to Japan, we go to Asia, in Australia, and the limbo dance has never ever failed to really sort of raise the audience off their feet. And I think here in Trinidad we are neglecting it just a little bit. And personally, I like to see it introduced as part of the carnival.
So you'd like to see it then become one of the things that's projected during the carnival season?
Oh yes, certainly.
Errol, you came back, I think, to keep in touch with our music, to see what's happening musically. What are your impressions of where the music is going?
I'm very pleased the way soca and music of Trinidad is progressing. Having traveled and listened to music, you know, in different parts of the world, what I like to say is the singers and calypsonians out there is that we, as far as soca is concerned, I think we're sitting on a type of music that can take the world by storm. So the advice I have to the artists out there is to, when you write a calypso, you write a song, a soca song, you know, write it for the world, because the world is out there just waiting to embrace and accept such a vibrant type of music.
So you want the calypsonians then to know, don't limit yourself in terms of the concept of what you're doing. Think of it as being something that can make it internationally.
Oh yeah, I think it should be, you know. If you are a professional musician who intend to earn a living by your music, then the world should be the place to project your music to.
What about bringing T Vibes to Trinidad and Tobago? Why don't you do that?
I would love to. Actually, one of the reasons for my visit is to just check out the scenes here as far as coming back and performing. It's something I love to do, having performed overseas for the last 12 years or so. It will, you know, it will be a good feeling to come back here and perform.
How many members in your group, and do you have any other Trinidadians there?
Yes, the group is a 7-member group, and we do have 2 other Trinidadians, namely Bruce McLean, who is the son of a very famous Trinidadian pianist in the I think the 50s called Bert McLean. And he's our musical director down there.
So you're off then again back to Australia very soon?
Yes, I'm leaving sometime next month via Los Angeles, Tokyo, Hong Kong, Singapore, and back to Australia. What I'm trying to do is book the band once more in Asia.
So that in fact the band is a band that does not only perform in Sydney, but it moves around various parts of Europe.
Yes, we do. We tend to travel a bit up to Asia, up the continent, wherever the work takes us.
Then that's where you're going.
That's where we're going.
It's great to know, Errol, that there are people out there, that Trinidadians out there that are pushing the music and that the sound is being heard throughout Europe. Did you have a good carnival?
Yes, I did. Last time I was here for Carnival was 1985, so I just lapped it up. I really enjoyed it.
Loved it all.
Yes.
What kind of weather will you be having when you go back? Will it be nice and warm like here? Or is
No, unfortunately I'm going back to the Australian winter.
Which is probably very cold.
Not as cold as probably New York's or Toronto's, but it does get cold.
Errol has been next time round, God willing, you'll bring T-Vibes in to chat with Alison and myself.
I'll be delighted.
All right?
Thank you very much.
Have a safe flight home now.
Thank you.